99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Microban 24 keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24, touch after touch, it doesn't give up.
I need tech that can make me as productive in my home office as I am at my office.
It's possible with Staples Connect. I bought a PC that'll help me get the most out of my day and my budget. Staples Connect makes it possible with the tools you need to work from anywhere. And now get up to $200 off select PCs, like the Lenovo IdeaPad 5i with Intel i5 processor. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 9/18. In-store only, limit 2.
Sign up today at BetMGM and enjoy the thrill of victory on your very first bet. The king of sportsbooks welcomes you to Showtime with the lock of the year. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on either the Ravens or Raiders, and if either team scores a touchdown, you'll win $200 in free bets, regardless of your bet's outcome. Just use bonus code TOMM200 when you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. Who doesn't want a little scratch on Lamar versus Chucky? Enjoy football like never before with BetMGM's live betting options, boosted odds specials, and daily promotions at your fingertips all season long. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code TOMM200 to win $200 in free bets if either the Ravens or Raiders score a touchdown. Nothing beats a W at BetMGM. This is a new customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Capurro of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, log on to nbphealth.com.
97 on the ticket and the Bet 1270. Your homes for the NFL of Westwood One. Las Vegas Raiders host the Baltimore Ravens. Monday Night Football. Pre-game at 7:30 on the Bet 1270. Detroit.
97 on the ticket. It is a Monday, the first Monday of the NFL season. We're doing a game tonight. Raiders, Ravens. But more importantly, we react to what we saw yesterday. Whether you were at Ford Field or whether you were at home watching the game like most people were. And yeah, they covered. If you happen to bet on them, most people in America, I believe, bet on the San Francisco 49ers because the line kept rising.
Yeah.
Look, there were certain things that were good. They were able to sustain somewhat of a running game. They ran for over 100 yards, but, nothing great. I thought Williams looked good. Swift looked good. The offensive line, Sewell played pretty well. Goff was okay. I mean, he had that one horrific, obviously. I've seen that before.
Turn left onto Northwestern Highway.
A lot of the short stuff, and he was good. He was efficient in doing that. But once again, like we saw under the previous regime, the defense was just really bad. They didn't have much pressure on Garoppolo. Trey Flowers did make a nice play, a punch out on a turnover. I mean, first turnover wasn't even, Lions doing. Garoppolo dropped the snap, basically.
Yeah. But they recovered it.
Yes.
It's still turnover. It's still a great way to start, especially after, they go for it on 4th and 1. They don't convert. Jimmy Garoppolo comes out, lays the ball on the ground. They get the ball again. They get a chance to again, try and put points on the board. And they had plenty of opportunities in this game offensively. They created a lot of their own opportunities. And you mentioned Jared Goff. I thought that he played well for the most part. A little bit worse than I had expected. I expected he was going to be more accurate in the first half. In the first quarter, we saw some passes to T.J. Hockenson that were just behind him. There was one, I think it was to Amon-Ra St. Brown, that just was off the mark.
Yep.
And if you're a seasoned quarterback, which he is, you would expect
Stay in the left
those
lane.
to be more accurate passes.
Especially with the short stuff. And look, he was victimized by 2 drops.
Yeah.
Swift dropped one, like he does every year.
Yes.
And Kaminga dropped one, right?
Yes, he did.
So, so that you have to factor that in as well. God, if you're grading him, I'd give him a C. He was average. Nothing.
Yeah.
He's not very good in the first half. Second half, he played much better when it's a little easier when they're playing. Don't get burnt.
When you're down 31-10.
Yeah, and they keep everything in front of you. that's on Bob Quinn and the previous regime, and some of it's on Brad Holmes too. I mean, if you don't have any receivers who are capable of stretching the field, this is what you're going to see offensively from this team the whole season. Now, if you're able to pound the ball time and time again and just move the change, fine, but I don't think you're going to do that every game. They have to at least give the, impression, guys, that they're even going to try to throw the ball downfield. I mean, because otherwise, they're not going to do anything offensively and defensively. Oh, man. I mean, even we heard all preseason, right? Will Harris, baby. He's playing great.
Yeah.
Crap. Poirier got burned on the first touchdown, and Okuda, I mean, come on. Come on. You're the third pick in the draft. Even if you get beat doing it the right way, how do you not turn your head on that play?
I don't know, and that's what's frustrating, and I think we've got to get over the third pick in the draft.
Yeah,
because
right.
It's not his fault that he was the third pick. Bob Quinn picked him third overall, and I don't know that it's even possible for him to live up to that billing. But if he was picked 25th overall, still not living up to that billing.
No.
As a first rounder, so you've got to. I mean, and we saw it on the sidelines. He was getting his butt ripped.
Yes.
Absolutely ripped. And
do your job. Right?
Yeah, you could read the lips. Yeah, he was, and there was a few adjectives that I think you could add in there for the lip reading that we saw, but it was clear he was saying do your job, and you just it's frustrating to see a guy that we had heard all season, all preseason really, that hey, I was hurt. I didn't have a great rookie year, but I want to go out there and prove that wasn't me.
And a lot of it was the previous scheme, but now under Aaron Glenn,
whatever you want to say.
Pleasant, you think he would play better. Look, it is one game. Hopefully, that's not his season. We're going to find out later today whether he came off with an Achilles injury or not. But which would definitely be devastating to his development.
Yeah, and I'll even go back to the Pittsburgh game in the preseason here when he got burned in that game.
Right.
And afterwards, it was, I'm going to learn from my mistake. I want to go out there and play and learn from my mistakes so that I can get better. Well, he had an entire year last year to learn from mistakes and didn't see it produce any better play in the preseason.
No.
Now we're in the regular season when it actually matters, and it's still the same thing.
He even missed tackles, which he doesn't do.
Yeah, normally he's very good in run support, and you could just see a player playing without any confidence. He's got no confidence. And rightfully so, we jump on him when it's a mistake, because every time it's a mistake that's compounded on top of another mistake, on top of another mistake. You keep stacking them up, and yeah, when he makes a mistake, we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
It's going to be pointed out. It's going to be pointed out on TV. It's going to be singled out, but that's the job that you have.
248-539-9797. That's the telephone number, the ticket text. I mean, this is your football team, folks. Game one, new regime. Nothing really new because they lost. But come on, I mean, what do you think? I mean, there was like a little bit of an air of excitement in Ford Field. I was there for the beginning. I stayed for the first half. People were kind of excited to see what it was going to be like. The whole bluster of Dan Campbell. During the off-season press conference, people talking about the kneecaps, the lion on the sideline, and no turds here and all that kind of stuff. What do you think of his debut? I thought the time management was pretty good. I didn't think I had no problems with decision making. It was aggressive when they went for it on fourth down. The issue right now, and it is one game, it ain't the coaching right now, okay? It's the freaking roster. That team has very little talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the back.
I thought yesterday gave room to people who are saying 0-17. Because that defense is just Swiss cheese.
Yes.
No pressure. And the Okuda stuff is, look, I'll throw it out there. Two things on him. Number one, do people have a problem with the coach chewing him out? Because I know there are some people out there that think that crosses the line. And it kind of compares a little bit to the Henry and Izzo thing at MSU, although this is professional, not college. And the other thing, I had a friend say he's the next Darko. Are you that far done with Jeff Okuda? Because I agree with John, look, get over the third pick. He's never going to live up to that. He never will. He'll never be Sean Springs or Patrick Peterson, which is where he was drafted to be. But you would like to see this guy be a serviceable corner still to help this team long term.
Well, he can be serviceable, but in his mind, he's got to stop trying to live up to number 3.
Correct.
And remove that pressure from himself. People are going to talk about it because those are the facts. He was drafted 3. Those are the expectations, but he's not going to be there. He needs to just to try and be a good corner.
I just feel like are we to the point where people want him out of town already? And it's premature from a realistic standpoint from the franchise, but are people just done with Jeff Okuda?
I hope not. I think young players deserve a chance. But yes, you are correct. That you should forget the fact that he was the third pick in the draft. I mean, look, yeah, the Darko comparison is because Darko couldn't get off the bench and was not very good, and of course, who they could have taken. And that's where the Darko comparison does work, because when you see Justin Herbert, and to a lesser extent Tua, and other players as well, you can say that the whole apathy. Am I at?
Well, yeah, but I think John wanted him, okay? But John was in the extreme minority.
Right.
It's just like it was with Carmelo and Wade. The pick would have been Carmelo. The pick would have been Tua here. Tua went into Foxborough and won. You know? I mean,
yes, but let's.
then you don't.
In 1 mile,
you don't.
turn
Maybe
left
you
onto
still
Northwestern
have,
Highway.
I don't know, because you still would have maybe done. Who knows what would have happened? But it's just, gosh, man.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because, and I forgot to put this in the prep yesterday, when I talked about it with Jim Costa yesterday on the pregame show. There was a story yesterday that Ian Rappaport that we heard about, but they kind of had a little more layers to it, where Stafford steered the trade to the Rams. The Lions, basically around the Senior Bowl, had a deal worked out with the Panthers, so where they get their first-round pick, so they would have had the Lions would have had 7 and 8 for Stafford and Teddy Bridgewater.
Wow.
When you look at it now, and hindsight's always 2020, would you rather have the 8th pick in the draft as opposed to 2 picks probably in the mid-20s and Bridgewater without his financial commitment that Goff had than what you have now? And to me, the answer is absolutely yes.
Well, because if you have 7 and 8, you could have taken Fields.
Yes, or even Mac Jones if you'd have liked him, or you could have peddled that pick to Belichick possibly from 8 to 15.
All right, so I'm going to give you my take on that on the other side of the break, because we have a caller that I think after we hear from Mike in Oxford, my point's going to be very well received by, I think, both of you. At least I hope so. But we'll do that on the other side of the break. 97.1. Hey, John's in here. I don't know.
We got teamwork, baby.
Yes, teamwork makes the dream work. I want to tell you about another team, and that's the team over at Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. If you're
Go past
looking
this
at your
light,
car right
then
now,
use the
you're
left
getting
3
into
lanes
it,
to turn onto Northwestern
you know
Highway.
that the lease on that vehicle is going to be up, and you're frustrated with the lack of choices on trying to find a new ride, and you look around from dealer to dealer, and there's
Turn left.
nothing on the lot. If you answered yes to any of those questions, Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can help. They have over 300 new vehicles in stock and on the lot right now. The team at Southfield is helping customers just like you with their easy plan ahead lease program. You can also reserve one of their new 1,600 vehicles that are being built right now. So don't wait another day to find your next lease. Now is the time to do it. All you got to do is log on to southfieldchrysler.com, or as I mentioned, go visit the team over at Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, because they're great at understanding what you want, what you need, and making it work and finding it. Don't miss out on the Jeep Adventure Days, where you can select from over 100 completely restyled brand new 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L's. Whether you live in Farmington, Hazel Park, Birmingham, or Dearborn Heights, or just a short drive or click away from the best car buying experience you're ever
For
going to
21
have.
miles,
Check them out online at
continue straight.
southfieldchrysler.com. And remember, all roads and all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 and Telegram.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWG 8 at 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Michigan Lottery. M10 northbound at 696, all lanes are closed due to an early morning accident. The north and southbound telegraph ramps to M10 northbound are now closed. From Keno, just got through
versus Ravens, and FanDuel Sportsbook is about to make it even bigger because FanDuel is giving new customers 30-1 odds on either team to win. That means you can end the weekend right by winning $150 on a $5 bet. Here's the thing about FanDuel Sportsbook. Promotions like these are why people love FanDuel. It's #1 rated sportsbook app in America. It's easy to use, safe and secure, and fast payouts. That's when you win. I mean, I'm talking about fast. Matter of minutes. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Just sign up using the promo code Doug this Sunday before the Chiefs take on the Ravens. You can win $150 on a $5 bet. Remember to use the promo code Doug so they know that I sent you. Exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Maximum bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 97.1.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
USA Today Sports Plus is the new sports app that puts the fans first. While others are at the press conference, we're in the locker room with more reporters in more cities than any sports news outlet. Get the latest scores, stats, and standings, and enjoy interactive experiences as well as group chat
would play out, to be honest. You know, it's seriously, but throw the pick six out, and Goff's day is far better.
Far better? Statistically, yes, but...
better than Stafford or just better?
No, I mean better for him. Not better than Stafford's. No.
I did like his clock
Go
management.
past this light. Then at the next one, turn right onto South 4th Street.
Target the sideline and get up, get a play call, get going. I mean, it was... I liked that.
Let's talk to Dave in Highland. What's going on?
Hey guys.
Good
There's
morning.
one thing that morning guys. There's one thing that Cordell like forgets to mention. Is that this game could have been completely different from the very beginning. Goff completely missed St. Brown. And that was 6 points. First quarter. Completely missed him. That was a routine throw for anybody that we'd like to consider a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. That was a routine throw, and he completely missed him. The Lions should have been up 10-0. The game would have been completely different. Goff played below average. Yeah, there's a whole lot. And if you're down by 3 scores, you're going to throw, like you just said, Tony, he threw the ball almost 60 darn times.
Yeah.
Like that, he played below average. It was a below average performance. It wasn't good. The Lions looked like
Turn
trash.
right.
That was complete trash.
Well,
Let's not get carried away. It wasn't complete trash.
All right, maybe. All right. Hey, I
Was,
At the next
guys, I
stop
just-
sign,
I got worked
make
up.
a U-turn.
You're allowing you're allowing garbage time points to I'm going with the framework of what happened in the first half yesterday.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Right, exactly. They're not a...
But I will say this: the Niners are a really, really good team.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe it
And-
won't be quite this bad all year.
The Lions, to our caller's last point, if
At the
you're
stop
going to
sign,
be in these
use
games,
the
the
left
Lions
lane to make a
are where
U-turn.
they are because they don't have great receivers. They don't have a great secondary. You're going to have to play near perfect football. You
They don't
can't
have
give
a great anything.
Well, but I don't necessarily know. I mean, I think that the offensive line pretty darn good. So great, you're right. Yes, I wouldn't say great for anything right now, but you can see some things where they could be great.
Make a
But
U-turn, then
unless
turn
they
right
play
onto Omaha
near
Street.
perfect football, you're going to have games like this where you are playing against a team like San Francisco who has a really good defense, has a really good offense, and they're going to capitalize on the extra opportunities that you don't take.
Exactly. And the Lions have to capitalize on the opportunities that
they have.
And they did.
Turn right onto
And
South
that's what I
10th
think.
Street.
That's my whole point.
And the
First play of the
destination
game,
is on your
they fumbled the
left.
snap, and the Lions got nothing really out of it.
That's I mean, that's my whole point.
Three times within the 35-yard line, and they came away with 3 points instead of 21. You cannot do that. All right, speaking of great,
The destination
Heather
is
is
on
next.
your
What's
left.
up?
I got a
2627
story
South
about
Hudson
a
Street.
woman who was scammed, and she was scammed bad. But you guys, she wasn't scammed out of, thousands and thousands of dollars. Instead, she was